change, but they don't seem to be getting it. According to a recent survey, 45% of millennials would recall their members of Congress, and 47% say they would take back their vote for President Obama. And with so many young people down in our country, how can we change the mindset of millennials? Joining us now is Sarah Greek, a Thomas Edison State University student who just wrote an eye-opening piece for the news commentary website, The College Fix. Good morning to you, Sarah. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Thank you. And now the piece was called The Joke That Was America, and that came about after you did a Google search of what?
Well, I was searching "this country is a," and the autofill options on Google were "this country is a joke." That was the first thing that came up, followed by "this country is badass," "this country is a mess." And I thought, why are people searching this? And I was hearing comments during the government shutdown from peers, "this country is a joke," and there was just a lot of flippancy, and it really bothered me.
Well, I want to get your take on how you think all of this is going to be affecting midterm elections, then the presidential election coming up too, because let's take a look at unemployment here in America. The labor participation rate is at 63%. That's the lowest since 1978. Now, the youth unemployment rate, get this number is at 21.4%. A lot of the youth were ardent supporters of President Obama. So where do they stand now?
I'm hearing a lot of disappointment, and I'm hearing a lot of frustration, and that's channeled, I think, as flippancy. And to me, I think of flippancy as the first resort of a person who feels helpless. And millennials are feeling helpless, but my hope is that that flippancy is channeled into becoming more informed and taking steps to make a difference instead of using those bad numbers as an opportunity to check out and lose hope, basically.
Let's take a look at another issue, food stamps and welfare. The percentage of the population on food stamps last year rose to 15%. That's the highest level ever. 47 million people are on that, and the numbers have doubled under President Obama. And of course, people who need food stamps, you want to make sure that they get them. But when you have a nation who is relying on the government like this so much, what kind of message does that send to our youth?
Well, yeah, when you have a government that teaches a certain portion of the population that treats them like children and then wonders why they remain dependent, I mean, we are living in a society increasingly that's governed by policies that don't make sense. There's so much red tape, there's so much disincentive. So there is a lot to complain about, but me personally, I made a commitment a couple years ago that I would not complain about problems I saw in the world unless I were making proactive steps to be a part of the solution. And I found that since I did that, I complain a lot less and I do a lot more. And to the extent that we equip ourselves with information, we can speak into that gap and not feel helpless by it.
Okay, well, another statistic that is making the youth feel a bit helpless, you say, how about this one? Let's compare education rates. We're 17th in reading, 21st in science, and 26th in math. What needs to be done in this arena?
Oh, I love what William Butler Yeats said. Education is not the filling of a bucket, it's the lighting of a flame. And to the extent that our education is a bureaucracy, we cheat the people we educate. But to the extent that education equips them for life, education is a success. So I am looking forward to less bureaucracy in education. I want to see more dynamic learning. I want to see a flame being lit instead of creativity being stifled.
Well, Sarah, take that message of the smaller government, as you mentioned, and being patriotic, as you mentioned as well, and hopefully you light a fire there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
48 minutes after the hour. How